are in the fourth year of the Jobs Growth Incentive Program, where we compared the previous year as the base year, and if there's an increase in income tax revenue generated in the year after that, we will refund up 25% of the amount of monies collected, as long as that amount is over $25. And Mr. Esborn has run the numbers and studied the numbers from the Regional Income Tax Authority, and he has a list for people.
Jobs Growth Incentive Program recipients for tax year 2016, there are about 105 businesses on that list. This process started with about the information from about 2,100 different organizations that, for one reason or another, have income tax paid to Avon Lake. So we've got the eligibility in the original ordinance. The recipient basically has to be a for-profit enterprise located in a structure in Avon Lake dedicated to that for-profit enterprise. There are some tough calls, it's always tricky to catch, businesses that are actually operating out of residences. The ordinance specifically says we don't look at home-based businesses for this, and especially when those addresses are on Walker or Avon Belden, that's tricky. We budgeted $200,000. This list, as it is, totals $158,764. $100,000 of that is Ford, and that's $100,000 is the maximum amount that we award through this program. If there were not a cap, then Ford would be entitled to $224,000, as that's a quarter of their income tax revenue increase. We've worked through this list many times over the last few weeks. Like I said, there's always tough calls, but we're comfortable with where we are with it.
We go from Ford Motor. We also, I see we got on there Gen On Services. That's $5,263, and then we have anywhere from restaurants to medical facilities, and a number of other different small businesses as well.
This is going to provide a great opportunity to go around to these businesses. Well, we will have a ceremony with a handful of them to present them with their checks, but I'm looking forward to visiting that diverse group of businesses that had income tax revenue increases this year and present, handing them their checks personally.
As you remember, City Council voted to request from the County Auditor Craig Snodgrass the status of the paramedic levy, which expires coming up here. So we were looking at renewing the 2.0 mil levy. When it was first voted in, it collected $1.63 million. The numbers came up with an effective millage for property owners or residential owners of 1.8605 mils. So the effective millage would be about 1.86 mils that would be listed on the ballot as a 2.0 mil. And as you know, as more housing is built and the valuation of housing goes up, more and different people help share in contributing that $1.63 million. So we're recommending that council have this on the agenda next week for a first reading, and if it's okay with Mr. Miners, we would approve this on a second reading of City Council.
Council President, the first item that I have is the Wine Festival liquor license. This is an item that came out of the last Safety Committee meeting, and this is an annual thing that we do now with the annual Wine Festival. It allows for a one-day liquor license to be issued. to the Wine Festival event. The Wine Fest this year will be Saturday, June the 24th. The next item is a proposed amendment to codified ordinance section 612.02B, dealing with underage drinking. This is an item that was discussed at two different safety committee meetings, and at the last safety committee, the topic was forwarded to this collective committee meeting. Basically, what it would allow is for a change in the language to, along with the term no person who is the owner or occupant of any public or private place shall knowingly allow an underage person to remain in or on that public place while possessing or consuming beer or intoxicating liquor. We add the term recklessly along with knowingly, and the term private along with public place. There was some discussion at the last meeting of whether both terms are necessary, knowingly and recklessly. At the meeting, as the chair, I said that I would speak with the city prosecutor about this question. I did speak with Prosecutor Robach on Thursday, and he indicated that either way that it's written, it would have the exact same meaning. And since it doesn't matter one way or the other whether or not we have recklessly or knowingly or just recklessly, my preference is to stay with knowingly or recklessly. I think that that gives the layperson that might be looking at the ordinance, the average resident that looks at it, a better understanding of what that means. There are attorneys, the law director, the prosecutor, members of city council that can look at that and know that one term also includes the other. But I think for the common person to look at it, it's better to have it spelled out with both terms there for better understanding. So my preference is to keep both terms in there. The second change is to add the term private along with public. Throughout this section, public and private are mentioned together, but in one instance, the term public is mentioned without the term private. And I will look to go 3 full readings on this. And I did speak with the council president, and I believe it's on the 15th of May. I've asked for a work session with members of Assist Avon Lake and Communities That Care and ADAAS to be able to come in and speak to the community more about this issue of underage drinking. So there will be a collective committee meeting or a work session as well too to discuss this. But I do plan to go 3 full readings with this. Thank you.
Eileen Donahue's in the audience, and it reminded me, she's on the Friends of the Parks, which is a 501c3, and that number is depleting. This is a 501c3 that does collect money for events which help various programs within the city, funding the musical performances that are at the parks. Within that, I work my fireworks performances through there, and money that is left over is given to CRS, it's given to various causes. We've donated money through Friends of the Parks to the fire engine renewal that we have and all stuff like that. So we are in need of people to serve on that body. They don't meet very often. They have the pleasure of giving away money to various causes which are helpful to the city. So if anyone out there is interested in serving their community on a very limited basis, but a very important basis, Friends of the Parks is the group. Again, it's a charity that helps a number of programs within the city make life more enjoyable for residents. So I'll be making the same announcement next week. Thank you.
Yeah, we do need, like you were saying, maybe we do need members.
And one of the other activities that spring brings on is homeowners digging on their property. And I want to remind residents to call 811 before you dig, period. If you put the shovel in the ground 48 hours before that, call 811 and they will come out and identify all the underground cable and piping that you have so that there is no chance that you're going to damage your sources of all kinds of electrical signals or gas, as well as your neighbors. But the number, and if you want more information, you can go to the website call811.com. Very simple. CALL 811.com. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.